Hello and welcome to the Keynotes Club. We are live, and I'm Everett. Let's get through some of the preliminaries, whatever you may call it. Uh, so, we're going to talk about the Great Reset. What does that mean according to a spiritual perspective? Firstly, check out the Keynotes Club website that I set up, where you have articles. Anything you don't see on YouTube, you have articles here you can read that I write. You can contact me, spiritual advice, prayers, questions. Also, there is a free form, of course, a outer room, which is called the Outer Room Forum, that you can share your spiritual experiences, and the like, questions, share your conversion story, share experiences in the spiritual realm, out of body experiences, near death experiences, revelations, and prayers, all here on the Cadence Club website, the Outer Room Forum. Also, I have my ebook. It's also in paperback, the Cadence Club, as some writings and teachings in this ebook you can purchase for free if you have Kindle Unlimited. 25 paperback, not unlimited is 15. You can also find it on the website, the Canvas Club. Check out the Canvas Club website. So, let's talk about the Great Reset. What does it really mean? All these politicians, all these world leaders that we haven't even known about, are harping this phrase, the Great Reset. Well, to put it in a nutshell, the Great Reset is indicating that the devil knows his time is short. So he's trying in his last attempts within this cycle of time, because as I mentioned in previous videos, that it may seem like we're approaching apocalyptic times, but this may not be the end of the ends, the end of the world. It may just be a blurb. It may just be a birth pain in the tremors leading up to the end of the end. Okay? Revelations works in cycles. It works in cycles. So you may see ruminations and of end time events that shadow and point to what is seen in the book of Revelation. So we see the rise of the woman and the beast. The woman and the beast is characterized and represents Babylon. Babylon, the first instance of Babylon was Babel, Tower of Babel, and all these people were trying to build this tower to heaven together to bypass God. And that's the same thing where the world leaders are doing today. To build this tower of power to heaven, to bypass God, to live forever without God, through medicine, through technology, through science, without God. That's what they're doing. Okay, and the problem behind this is that it's interesting that God caused the people to disperse, to separate, to spread upon the earth. That's contrary to what the people are trying, the world leaders, the powers that should not be, are telling us to do now. What they're telling us to do now is stay in one place. Stay in one place. Don't travel. Don't move about for a perceivably 99.9 survival rate virus. You see, all this fear mongering over, which I will call, people call the C bug, just because they're censoring everything on the internet. Algorithms, AI, here are you talking about the C bug. Text in the description, the metadata, you mention things that is contrary to the World Health Organization. They will flag and remove your videos. They will censor it, blacklist it so you can't see. So the voices of the righteous are being silenced. And when those voices are silenced, darkness seems to rise because it's not stirring the right side of the tree of life. You have the left side of the tree of life that's being stirred more right now through the mainstream media, which is the lying false prophet, the beast of the earth. Okay. And then you have the Antichrist, which rises from the sea in cyclical ways, rises from the sea in cyclical manners. You see, John said many Antichrist has come 2,000 years ago. So there's still Antichrists that have come throughout time. It doesn't mean that is always a physical person, yes. But it's the spirit of the Antichrist, and that spirit of the Antichrist is permeating and seen in this sea bug. The sea bug, if you know what I mean, is operating as if it is the Antichrist. The sea bug is a version of the Antichrist. It will do everything that the Antichrist will do. Okay. So the reason why the explanation behind the Great Reset is that the devil knows his time is short. So he's doing all he can to snuff out the voices of righteousness. He's doing all he can. He's been hurled down to the earth. Hurled down to the earth. And he knows his time is short. Why else are they scrambling to try to jab people with the virus? With Boris Johnson, Prime Minister, slipped up and said virus instead of vaccine. Because the virus is in the vaccine. They have it in there. You see. Why are they pushing this vaccination that has not been tested for more than a year? Why? Why? Why do they continuously have constant lockdowns over and over again? Biden just recently said that after his inauguration, another 100 days of mask wearing, despite the vaccination being released. So why do we have another 100 days of mask wearing if there is a vaccination? Because the vaccination does not solve comorbidities, diabetes, health issues, heart disease. It does not solve that. Vaccination is not the one-stop cure to spiritual disease. You cannot solve it with vaccination. It only comes through Christ. Okay? So the devil knows his time is short. That's why we have these world leaders harping together along with the Antichrist agenda, having similar terminology. All the mainstream media dissemination machines working together with the same script, saying the same thing. The same people that rigged the election are the same people that are manipulating the data for COVID. Excuse me, CBUG. Same people that pushed the Black Lives Matter mania, that have allowed people to protest and riot and burn down buildings and cause mayhem. The same people that are against people to protest for freedom and rights all across the world. This is happening in India. It's happening in China. It's happening in Africa. It's happening in the UK, Europe. It's happening in the United States of America. It's a worldwide shaking. You see? So, within this great reset, we have dialectics and paradoxes. Take, for instance, the sea bug. Within this year, we had this great pandemic. This great pandemic. So it was an opportunity not only for a health and healing awakening in the midst of a health crisis. But because of the mainstream media dissemination machine, the false prophet, the lying spirits, it's it's snuffed out and silenced the voices of righteousness and hope, so that there can't be a limited probability of there being a healing awakening. Instead, we have a health crisis. Black Lives Matter. Within fragmentation and disunity, we still have unity. On one side of the political scheme, we have disunity, we have fragmentation, and the other side, we are more divided than ever, but we're also more united than ever within this fragmentation. You see, another thing relates to the lockdowns. As I mentioned, the Tower of Babel. God dispersed everybody and confused the languages. It's not natural for all of humanity to be stuck in one place. God's not going to allow that. That's why you have people throughout time transporting by the Spirit. God won't allow that. His mission for the gospel to be spread, people have to move about. So whether by train or whether by plane or whether by car, people will transport supernaturally by the Spirit. So this is opportunity to advance. This pressure brings social and spiritual change. The Great Reset seems very terrifying, but it will only cause the church and the people of God to rise to higher heights of spirituality like never before. Gates of hell shall prevail. The gates of hell shall prevail, as the saying goes. Okay. So, be not dismayed. Be not dismayed in this time. Be not dismayed in this time. God always has the last laugh. And he's laughing in heaven over his enemies. His enemies think that they are winning. Lucifer thought that he won in heaven. Every time he gets cast down, God is the master chess player. He understands what he's doing. And the enemy will not win in the end. We know the end story, what will happen. In the Antichrist only is given power to reign for a limited amount of time. In different dispensations, the spirit of the Antichrist does not rule on forever unrestrained. Okay, so check out the kingdomsclub.com website. We have an outer room forum that you can post your spiritual experiences, and you can post your out of body experiences, your any questions you may have, your conversion story, how you came to know God, Christ. And also we have the Kingdoms Club official ebook and paperback on Amazon, which will be linked in the description. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.